The Nikki Clarke Show, transforming lives one story at a time. If you would like to be a guest or become a part of our live studio audience or even to become a sponsor, just go to www.nikkiClarkenetwork.com.
All right, welcome back to the Nikki Clarke Show. Sitting beside me is a fascinating woman. She is a scientific hand analyst. Please welcome KRISTINE GRAVELLE to the show. Thank you for being here, KRISTINE.
Thank you, Nikki. Thank you.
I mean, I so appreciate that you flew in from Ottawa today.
I did.
And you're going back on the red eye tonight, so that's fantastic. You look amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah. So we connected through a mutual friend. Shout out to Anita Sicheski for connecting us. Yeah. Yes, a publisher. She does it all. Author, motivational speaker. And I found out through my own connection with you doing the whole process, what it was, and it was quite amazing. But let's go back a little bit about your background leading up to how you became a scientific hand analyst. So what is that?
I am a jack of all trades.
A Jill.
A Jill. Yes, a Jill. My background started off in corporate and also private and public sector. So communications, graphic design, HR, admin. I'm all over the map. I'm also an artist and a singer, and I've also studied energy healing as well, so I know about that genre as well, too.
Okay. So wow, you've done it all. You're multifaceted.
I have.
And then you are now involved in this. So describe what a scientific analyst does, and maybe a little bit about the process.
Sure. I'm trained in the system of hand analysis that's non-interpretive. I refer to it as scientific because there is actually a database that contains over 65,000 pairs of handprints. The information is centralized, and so basically anything that I share with somebody, if it's in your lines, it's in your hand or your life. Mm-hmm. And so anything I share.
Do police officers use this, or people?
They do not.
They don't. Okay.
No, they don't profile with it.
Okay.
Mind you, you could. Anyway.
Note to self. Okay.
Yes, note to self. So everything I tell somebody is basically it shows up in their hands. The fingerprints, I look at those too. Those are static. You're born with those and they stick with you for life. And so I can identify what someone's life purpose is and what their lifelong challenge is. So for somebody who's in business, they can actually take that challenge because they're an expert in it, and they can weave it and thread it into their business strategy to engage customers and also generate more revenue.
Okay. I find that really amazing. And what you did for me to get this kind of analysis going was that you asked me to take a photograph of both my right and left palm.
Yes.
And then from there you were able to do kind of a reading of sorts, right?
Exactly. I use that as an intro just for people who are questioning, wondering, what it is that I do, because there's a lot of questions that do come up. I'm dealing with people are scared sometimes because they think it's predictive that I'm going to tell them how long they'll live.
Right.
And I don't do that
scary.
at all.
Yeah.
It is scary,
Yeah.
It's very, very scary for some people.
So it's not necessarily fortune telling, but it's more of kind of a pattern that has developed over a lifespan, right?
Yeah, it has nothing to do with fortune telling at all.
Okay,
no,
all right.
It's very, very solid, and the spin I put on it, the approach I take is business, relationships, personal life. How do you step into your own skin and really accept who you are as a person? Because we guilt ourselves left and right. I would have, I could have, I should have.
Right.
How about you just are?
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah, and accept that.
Yeah.
And move on and love yourself unconditionally.
Exactly. And the other thing I can do too is identify if you've got skill sets and talents that you're not using.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you were able to do that for me. There was one thing that you said, I need to share my story. I need to share my story. So with that was the impetus for me to get involved in writing my book, which I'm really excited about doing. And you have a book too that you're putting together. You want to tell us about that?
I do. The book is called Ruby Red Shoes.
Ah.
Yes.
There's your branding right there. Do you
see
see the ruby shoes she's got? Oh, there you go. And where has the ruby red shoes taken you?
The ruby red shoes. I'm supposed to be in a leadership role. I'm supposed to be doing creative stuff. There's a lot of, I have a lot of gifts, and the ruby red shoes basically, I've stepped into that, and I'm leading a project with 29 other women. The book is about the journey of women back to themselves in the area of their relationships, their intuition, and also doing what God puts you on this earth to do.
Okay. I'm hearing that as a common theme, getting women to empower themselves.
Yeah.
What's happened over the last 20 years or so, or maybe even 10 years? Have women been socialized to be quiet and not step into their power? Is that why there's so many coaches coming out and allowing this liberation to happen?
Well,
what's your take on it?
Yeah. What's happened, the pendulum swung very far over to the right where we had to do things as men.
Okay.
Now it's swinging back where as women, we've practiced doing it the guy way.
Okay.
And now we can choose to do it, blend that in with the feminine, which is basically using relationships, but we can pretend like we're water almost. We can force our way and pound our way through things. We can meander, or we can just sit still.
Right.
Ultimately, we're in choice about how we use our power as women.
Okay, so it's okay to embrace the feminine energy.
Absolutely, yeah. It's about complementing each other, men and women working together, not against each other.
Right.
It doesn't work.
No, competition never works.
Competition doesn't work.
Yeah, it's about collaboration. Can I ask you something very personal? In your bio, you describe feeling aimless, depressed, and isolated. But on the surface, everyone was seeing you functioning very well and doing incredibly in your career. What was going on at that time?
Through my hand analysis, actually, I realized that there were things that I would be dealing with because I wasn't using my gifts, and also things that were just continually part of who I was. And what that did was it just pieced all together the parts of my personal puzzle and made sense for me. So when I was going through something, I went, oh shoot, it's happening again, and this is the way I can get out of it. So it actually provided strategies and ways for me to help myself.
Okay. No, I find even through my own journey, when I'm doing something, I can tell right away if I'm going against the flow or going with the flow, because there's this incredible resistance and obstacles, and you say to yourself, oh yeah, it's like I'm going to overcome, but why do you need to overcome if there's an easier way that you should be following and the better path? So it's really a good thing to be aware of all that.
It's exactly that. Like, the information in your hands positions you to have the successes and the challenges that you're supposed to have, and then you step away from the stuff that you're not supposed to be dealing with.
Okay.
But you do it on purpose. You decide for yourself.
Okay. So how can people get in touch with you if they want to get their hand analysis?
Best place to start, my website.
Okay.
So www.kgr-handanalysis.com.
Okay. And you have a special gift for somebody tonight?
I do. Someone in the audience will be winning a complimentary session with me for...
Ooh, that's exciting. And I'm going to leave it up to you how that lucky winner is going to get that analysis.
I stated a number at the beginning about the number of hands that are in that database. Does anybody remember?
First answer, correct answer. Over there.
Yes.
Karen over there got it. All right. I want to thank you for making the trip down. You're an incredible, informed woman, and I thank you for, elaborating and sharing the information about what I need to do. So.
I have one more thing, is that I'm accessible globally. I use technology to bridge the gap, so no matter where anybody lives, you can have a session with me.
Okay. Awesome. And again, the website?
www.kgr-handanalysis.com.
Okay, Christine, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much. Christine Gravelle, everyone. Look for hands. Look on, no hands. We'll be right back.
The Nikki Clarke Show, transforming lives one story at a time. If you would like to be a guest or become a part of our live studio audience, or even to become a sponsor, just go to www.NikkiClarkeNetwork.com.